Hi, I'm Colin.
And I'm Bert.
And you're watching Dabbing with Washington Artists. The idea is simple. 6 questions.
And 6 dabs.
As we interview artists that make Washington, Washington. So sit back.
Light those torches.
Because this is Dabbing with Washington Artists.
What was I here to do?
Just quick introductions.
Yeah.
Maybe introduce each other. Introduce each
I'm
other.
just trying to stop.
This is my friend Khayl. She's an artist. Yay.
This is Jesus fucking Christ. This is Allie. She does Allie D Studio. Go follow her Facebook and Instagram.
Stop it.
Yes, because you produce awesome shit. Love you.
For today's series of dabs, we will start our smoke session with the King Tut, a chem dog, and an original glue, and we will round the session out with a lemon amnesia, a lemon cookies, and a Cinderella.
Alright, just want to start off by saying thank you very much for being a part of the show. We really appreciate you guys coming up here and coming to interview with us. If you're ready to get started, Bert, what do we have for dab number 1?
For number 1, we have King Tut, which is a sativa dominant hybrid.
King Tut is a sativa dominant hybrid known for leaving the smokers social and chatty. Its pungent skunky smell is offset by its fruity and sour taste. We found this gem at a shop in Marysville.
Damn, we can clear it. No, I have to do that, or else I'm a loser.
And I put enough in there. Should be enough for both of you guys.
Oh, it smells great.
It's a nice one.
It really wasn't that bad. Like, she's worried because we were like, oh god, we're gonna die here.
Well, we've had a whole range of, people and tolerances. We've had some people that have never done dabs before.
Did you place it in there?
I don't know.
First question we like to ask everybody is, what role does cannabis play in your creative process?
You go first.
Huge one? Yeah.
I mean, I have to be high to be calm enough to even want to pull out all of my art supplies. I have to be able to
We got
be in that
kids.
zone for it.
And
Yeah.
they're dicks.
Yeah, so you gotta smoke. We're like, okay, now I feel mellow enough to actually pull this freaking sketchbook out.
Accurate.
That would be your answer. I think, yeah, probably. Or it'd be, anytime we smoke, we're just in a better mood in general.
I just don't hate everything as much, so then I feel a little more creative.
Does that help you come up with ideas for anything?
Oh, sure. We have to bounce stuff off of each other a
Because
lot,
usually we usually brainstorm ideas and we'll smoke, and she'll be like, okay, what should I do? That was how you thought of the bumblebee that you randomly just thought of.
I had a dream about that one.
Oh, I thought you. See, I thought you were just high.
I woke up and I was like, bumblebee. Have to do it. And then I painted a bumblebee.
How did that conversation go?
It was weird.
Literally
I was like, Khayl, I have to paint a bee today. She's like, okay, sure, why not? That's not weird.
We did a whole video project for that one though, so it's a huge canvas, huge.
Yeah, there's a whole part where I'm holding the baby trying to paint. I multitask badly.
You got it done though.
The kids often interview with your work process?
Well, we take turns. So like, if I'm doing something, she usually tries to keep them off of me, and if she's doing something, I'm trying to keep them off of her. It's only when we're both creatively sparked that it's a problem, and then we have to ask other people.
That, or you just have to hold the kid while you're trying to do art.
Fair.
It's not easy. Have you ever taken a baby on a date and
I-
tried to cut a steak while you're holding a baby? I have.
Also, teaching Ksenia, you do a lot of your art with her.
I know. She wants to do everything we're doing. So when I pull out the paint, she's like, I want to paint. I'm like, but you're bad at it and messy. Oh no. I just called her bad at it.
No.
She's gonna hear that.
You've taken some of her pictures though and made it into something interesting. So there's that. The girl has an eye for color already. She's only 4.
So for this next one, it's Chem Dog. It's another sativa dominant hybrid.
ChemDog is a sativa-dominant hybrid that is known for its cerebral high and distinct diesel taste. We picked up a gram of these diamonds at a shop in Shoreline.
I like
stinky.
ChemDog. It's one of the ones I like.
This is
Oh,
Sorry,
is
it
it?
just started hitting.
This is
because
one of
I
my
was like,
longtime
there.
favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, we smoke a lot of ChemDog. That's usually one of the ones I pick up from. Oh wait, you should sniff it.
Well, what do you like about it?
We usually pick sativas a lot, and ChemDog just has a nice flavor to it. It's not like
Mhm.
overly like fruity or floral. It's just like it hits really nice, but it's not. Also doesn't taste like tires because some of them taste like fucking rubber.
All right, second question we'd like to ask everybody is, how has living in Washington affected your artistic process?
At first, I stopped painting because no sun. So I had to start
Interesting, okay.
other mediums.
She's from
Because-
Cali.
Yeah, I'm from California. I'm used to having sun and light to see in, and you know, when you're painting with like acrylics, you really need light and not gray light.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like a good 8 months where I didn't paint anything, and then I just had to push through because really there's no good day. You never know when the weather's gonna be nice. So just make art all the time for no reason. If it's the wrong color, just fuck it.
It's really interesting. Usually when we have people come on, they talk about the influences that they've been introduced to in Washington. So it's always really cool to be able to get
Yeah.
like a different perspective
The weather.
for that question.
Really
that's-
important to a painter.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming down here. I'm from Georgia.
She draws, so you don't have to worry about the sun.
No, not as much. But coming from Georgia and came to Washington, it was just different seeing the landscape. A lot of it, like everything out here, is very beautiful. In Georgia, it's like
It's
trees and buildings. Moving to Washington, though, it's like when I moved here, it was not a good situation per se. I moved out of a very toxic situation here. So when I moved, it was like great, and then actually I started drawing again. In fact, it's her fault. But I was so stifled back where I was that I kind of didn't have much creativity since. So when I moved to Washington, it was very liberating and freeing, and I was able to actually start producing things again. So
That's
it's nice.
awesome. It's great to hear.
Being around actual love people will do that to you.
Just a bunch of
happiness.
Yeah, being happy.
Being happy.
happy potheads up here.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And then people, they're like, oh, you can come smoke and be like, I lived in Georgia. It's not
Yeah.
illegal out there.
Mhm.
I'd have to hide in my freaking house like
What?
like a vampire. Or
You
something.
never broke the law. Don't
Oh,
admit
shit.
to anything.
I forgot about that. I don't care. Whatever. I'm in Washington now. Come get me, feds. Anyways, I'm done.
Don't come get her.
All right, what do we have for dab number 3?
All right. So for down number 3, we have Original Glue.
Original Glue is a Washington favorite hybrid known for its pungent, earthy, and sour smell and taste, and tendencies to leave the smoker with a floating feeling. We found these impressive diamonds at a shop in downtown Everett.
Big tolerance. We probably spent way too much money, didn't we?
Yep.
Like,
Oh god, I know we do.
Sorry, is that a Mario hat?
Yes.
it
Nice.
sure is.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that.
Grim Dark Mario.
Ta-da.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
nice.
beautiful.
Those are awesome. When we're looking through a lot of your art, we noticed clear influences, from chaos art and modernist as well as mixed media. What artists or movements have influenced your art?
Artists or movement. How do I say nothing? I mean, like, I see my art going towards other people's, but not necessarily on purpose. I see it going towards, like, Lovecraft vibes and Dr. Seussy.
You're very
This
dark.
one is very Dr. Seussy, but it's dark Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. But like, I didn't necessarily do that with the intention. It just sort of happened, and then I'm like, cool, that looks like Dr. Seuss, but I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
that's
do anything
cool.
on purpose. I just slap stuff together, and I'm just like, oh, that looks cool.
No, that's fine.
What about
I'm
you?
completely anime inspired because
Yeah.
That's
chibis
awesome.
are great. But like we were talking about all of
Do you have
my
any
shit's
favorites that
cute.
you like to draw from? Like,
Yeah, I actually draw a lot usually from DBZ. That's probably why you saw the
You have your
dragon.
My Hero.
I have My Hero. I did
Nice.
a really great picture of Midoriya punching through. It was from a picture from like the actual game art. So I just took it and drew it out. I've started a Super Saiyan Khayl that I really need to finish.
Oh,
oh, that'll be cool. I can't wait to see that when it's done.
I want to get it as a
Yeah.
tattoo if I actually
Yeah.
finish it.
That would be
But
badass.
love DBZ. Pretty much any like My Hero Academia. I need to watch Attack on Titan because everyone keeps yelling
Oh,
at me.
it's so
for that.
Do you think that the anime is having an effect on the art community here in the United States as well? Like,
Definitely. It's starting to get more being like when I was younger, no one liked anime, and it was like you got to be a nerd for liking anime. Now
Yes.
it's like,
yep,
bullshit.
guilty.
Exactly.
Yeah, same. Yep.
I grew up watching Pokemon and
Yup,
Dragon Ball,
yup.
and that was what started my art
Oh,
process.
nerds.
I'm sorry,
Tsunami.
I did. My mom used to draw the shit with me, so like she drew Mewtwo before, and it was
I used to
badass.
draw anime
That's
artists
awesome.
only.
But yeah, that's where. So, but I do like modern artists and stuff. A lot of people on like that did graphic art nowadays. I wish I could think of their names because I suck, but I have a lot of their Instagram handles. But a lot of artists for there that do digital art, but like do animated style are really great and take from that.
Mhm.
But that's the only people modern I can think of. You just did nothing. I tried.
I don't know how to.
She really does though. She
I
kind of
mostly
gets
like
up and
pieces.
throws shit
It's-
on there.
It's
and-
like music. I like songs, not necessarily artists.
Fair.
So I'll be like, this is beautiful. I have no idea who made it.
Gotcha.
That's
So
fair.
she goes back and finds.
And then I'll go
out
try to
who made
find
it.
the artist, but like I don't have like favorite artists because they might have only one thing that I like, and I don't think.
We also try a lot of our
More,
local artists too.
I'm
We
aware
try
of
to
that.
make friends with people that are just like us that don't necessarily have a big following, but want to
Mhm.
collab and do little projects.
So that's kind of what we're trying to do too. That we
Yeah,
don't
this is
particularly
great.
care, how many followers somebody has, and they
See?
come promote your stuff.
I
You know.
See, I was making fun because I was like, she has like 700 and something, and I'm at like 70.
Yeah, well, and a lot of it's just like I took 5 minutes and I was like, cool, that's art.
I also did help her promote a lot of her page because we were
Exactly.
having fun with that for a while.
That's really cool.
Our skills are totally different. You do like video editing and
Photography.
like
and
those
graphic
hard
design
lines
and
in
all
your
that,
art.
yeah.
I can't.
We
Do you see any
digressed-
lines?
we
You see-
digressed
There's
from the
lines right
question.
here under my Goomba. And that's it. There's
We
no lines.
digressed from the question
I
already.
don't even
So-
know where the question.
Yeah, I think we're done.
So for number 4, I'm still getting this one ready because I was not ready ahead of time. But we have Lemon Amnesia.
Stop threatening me with a good time. I want amnesia. Come on.
Lemon amnesia is a sativa-dominant strain known for its cerebral and heady high, and tendencies to leave the smoker feeling energetic and social. We found this sugar wax in a dispensary on 128th Avenue in Tacoma.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. I hate when I like go buy weed and they're like, it's pineapple. No, it's not. It tastes like weed. Stop calling it fruit. Because I like fruit.
It's not many. Okay, back to the top for a second. That one got me. I was reading. I knew at least one of them I'd get a small cough off.
that guy thing, it definitely keeps the heat pretty good.
Yeah, I knew because I stopped halfway through. I was gonna get her. Love you.
So we noticed that you guys have a very eclectic range of colors in your artwork, ranging from like dark and ominous, very vibrant and alive. Is there a process that you go through when deciding what kind of coloration you want to use for your pieces?
You
Oh,
haven't
okay,
answered
sure,
that,
yeah.
You go first.
There is a little goth girl and a little girl in pink just trying to kick each other's ass in my head constantly. So that's just what I do with my art, Just one is gonna be really weird or creepy or morbid or even bloody. And then the next one is, you know, Super Mario. I don't really know. Really, I think what defines my art as mine is it's gonna be either heavy contrast, bright colors, not necessarily bright, but like deep, vibrant color.
There you go.
Or texture. And so, like, if I have one of those three things, I can make anything into art, almost. It's weird. Like, I'll take a picture, I know, it's super weird, but, like, there's a couple of mine that are, like, just photos of, like, potpourri in our house, and then I, like, went and messed with them, and now they're art, but, like, I know where I took that picture.
It's a guessing game for us to try to figure out what did she take a picture of in the house to fuck with to make this image.
We have a buddy who writes haikus every day, and some of the fun in that is like, okay, what was he staring at when he wrote this?
Awesome. Yeah.
Like, I think he's like 7 of them that are of his refrigerator.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I don't know, most of my stuff comes out when I'm first doing it, like, just by hand. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be cute, because half the time I'm just thinking of chibis or little chickens or
She has a
whatever
plan
random
when
design.
she goes in.
I do.
I don't have a
but
plan, usually.
I usually think of something like whatever I think of, like the idea. When I start thinking of something like darker or grittier, it's like I have to be thinking, oh, this is the object that I'm doing. And it takes a lot longer than my regular stuff, but it's like a challenge. Because, you know, if you get too used to doing the same thing over and over again, you're not challenging yourself.
Totally.
That's why I was like, let me try to do this freaking dragon. That took 2 days.
And it looks freaking awesome.
But yes, thank you.
She was staring at it the whole way over here. She's like, oh, good dragon.
Because I hadn't seen it in like a glossy photo. Anyways, but to answer the question though, yeah, I have to like kind of be in the mood for one or the other, and then it just comes out. And sometimes something has been cute before and then came out like really bad, and I was like, oh, this is like I was trying to draw a bunny and it came out like a freaking
Now it's a
tiger.
zombie bunny.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, no, it happens. You have to adapt.
Would you say like mindset or anything like that plays any factor in it? Like, do you feel yourself gravitating towards like darker images if you're feeling sad or depressed, or do you like rebel against that and notice that you're feeling bad and so you want to draw something happy and bright?
Yeah, I think that's usually what happens, because like when I'm happier, yeah, I know yours. Usually when I'm happy, I draw more of because I want to do something that challenges me. So I want to do a harder, grittier piece. I want to do a skull or just something that makes me like look angry. But when I'm sad, I want to pop out a bunny, 'cause it's easy.
I wish I were that simple. Everything I do is completely arbitrary, and
Your mood, yeah,
Strange.
really doesn't affect
like I said, I don't always go in with a plan. So sometimes I don't even want to do art. Okay, but I don't want to go a year without doing stuff anymore. So what I'll do is I'll just sit down with my paint and be in a bad mood, and then just start doing stuff. And then eventually, at some point, I'll start to like it, and then be like, ooh, and now I'm into it. So it's just like you have to force yourself to start. It's like trying to talk yourself into getting on a roller coaster, but once you're on it, you're just so happy.
Yeah,
Fair.
totally.
That's a good analogy. I like
a
that.
maniac.
So I have to force it a lot, but
It works.
it works a lot. And then sometimes I go from like the worst mood, having a shit day, to like I am just having the best time now, because I'm like, oh, I made something awesome. I'm on top of the world.
What do we have for Dan number 5?
So for number 5, we have lemon cookies.
Lemon Cookies is a sativa-dominant hybrid with a complex terpene profile. With hints of lemon and butter and a terpene profile over 5.5%, this shatter was a nice score we found in Capitol Hill.
Damn raccoon. Clear it. Never clear it.
More and more artists are using mixed media mediums like you guys are. Do you feel like the integration of mixed media could lead to more collaborative artwork Excuse me. Do you feel like the integration of mixed media could lead to more collaborative projects in the art?
It already
community?
has.
Yes, that's 100%.
That's like what we're doing. I mean, cause I do my own like mixed media. Like I was just talking about this last
Yes.
night actually to Justin. I can paint something, take a photo of it, and not just because you could scan a painting, but if you take a picture of the paint while it's still wet, you get shine on it. And if you turn the paper, you can have valleys and hills. And then when you photograph it, not only do you have paint, but you also have light and shadows. And then you take it into your, photo editing software or Photoshop, or I use a painter to just fuck around with it. And then I've just done 3 medias in one thing, and it's cool. It looks different than what I usually see, and it's already inspired us to like combine our skills, because I don't do line work nearly as well as she does. So I spent last night painting that picture in my own version, just all red.
We should have brought.
I didn't,
too.
but I didn't want to
No, I wouldn't
bring
want
my
to.
version of your art.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever. But we're literally just starting out to like.
Yeah, basically,
Work on
I'm
each
gonna
other's
be
stuff.
her coloring book, which I thought was a great idea, because she has an amazing sense of color and I don't. Well, I do my best, but I usually, I do a lot more pencil and sketchbooks, and so, but I've never even played with a drawing pad, which is what she had just bought and just had started using this year, and fucking around with it and doing the dragon like I did. I was really happy with it, because I thought it was nice of being able to just draw something the way I'm used to, but then taking it and being able to change my mind. So if I didn't want the dragon yellow, I could make him green, I could make him purple, I could test my ideas, and if I want to, I could still take the physical copy and draw that and sketch it or color it out how I wanted. After testing so many ideas on this program, you don't get the chance to do that. Like with her paint, she doesn't get the chance to, oh, I didn't necessarily like that line, let me go back and erase it on a digital canvas. It's just so much more ways that you can do things. It seems a shame that like it would be a limit to not even think of the ideas and possibilities.
Yeah.
That being said, there's a lot of stuff I can't do with programming that I can do with a paintbrush, and you can tell.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can tell the difference.
Could you give us an example?
Yeah, like just the
Palette.
lines that you see from a paintbrush. You can get those on the program, but they don't look the same because you're not flicking the same way.
Gotcha.
And there's no way to create that. I mean, there are ways to try and recreate it, but at least for me, I have not been able to achieve like this seamless ability to make it look like a real painting, because I guess my painting is more jagged, and
I don't.
you
see
can
very
tell an
much
artist by
difference.
their brush strokes. You can tell the difference between my digital stuff and my other stuff just because of my wild brush strokes.
Yes,
And
but it's a lot harder to tell the difference when you take, like you said, your wet picture, your wet painting, and then take a photo.
oh
of it
yeah,
and
those
mix
look
it.
dope.
And then I'm just like, I don't know if you did that with the paint or with the computer, and I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that I can take a picture of something like just some shapes, like potpourri, and alter it with the computer, and then I can paint something literally with paint, and they will look the same style. It's super
That's
weird.
awesome.
That you can tell it's mine, even though it's a totally different medium.
Because your style still transfers.
And you came at it from a
over.
different perspective, but I'm still gonna make the same art somehow. It's really weird.
There's just so many advantages to doing it like that way. Or
Mixed
just
media is the best, because
putting
I took some, instead of taking a photograph of paint, I took a photograph of some clay,
Oh,
and I like
okay.
stabbed it a bunch of
forgot
times,
about that.
and then I took like really close-up pictures, and then I went in there and I added color. Oh, it's so cool. You can't make depth like that with paint. I just,
Maybe like
and I kind of cheated,
Sure.
because it was real depth, but like,
It's not
fuck off, I'll do
cheating.
whatever I want.
It's your artistic process. No one can
Exactly.
tell you otherwise.
I don't like it when people don't respect other artists.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're medium.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty
just
much
because
just play
it's a
with
different
any
one.
medium we can. Like she just.
Man,
plays
you don't
with
even respect
anything.
your own medium.
I mean, I'm just saying, you play with anything.
I know, but she's like, well, all I did was fiddle with the. I'm
Oh,
like,
shut
that's
up.
still
She's talking
art.
about because I made a chicken. I made a clay chicken and like.
It's awesome.
It's an okay chicken.
I had this doodle of a chicken from when I was like, never this. Okay, anyway. So it's got big ol' eyeballs and like a little body and chicken fingers and like a little tuft of hair, and she sculpted him like my little
That's a
childhood chicken guy,
prototype,
and she made him.
And the
That's
knife fell
fucking
off.
art,
The
bitch.
knife fell off though. A little knife and it fell off.
It was her first try, and it was like near perfect.
We're gonna make an army of chickens, basically.
So what do we have for dab number 6?
So the last one is Cinderella, and this one is really pretty.
Cinderella is a sativa-dominant strain with a sweet and fruity taste that lingers on the palate and is known for its cerebral and uplifting high. We found these saucy diamonds at an amazing shop in Seattle.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Like, I haven't done any psychedelics or anything, but sometimes I just look at like a color and I'm just like, wow, I really like that color. How do I make it with paint?
Right.
I'm not joking. Like, have you ever seen like real life that looks like a painting? That's
Yes.
like my favorite thing in the world.
Anytime I look at like the mountains, like especially
Yes.
during certain times of the day,
Rainier.
it's like you sit there going, that looks like
Where
a Bob
are the
Ross
ones?
painting right there. Like,
It's beautiful.
yeah.
yeah.
That was tough to get through.
So a lot of your pieces demonstrate considerable degree of control and playfulness with the positive and the negative space. Do you find that this serves to soften the chaotic nature of the piece, or maybe make it a little more intense?
It was deliberately
You guys
written
used
to be
way
a hard
more
question.
harder words by the last question. I get that. Though.
I almost want to like give me your note card so I can read the question.
I'm actually being nice right now.
I figured you were.
Okay, you said something about negative space, something about color.
You know you're not gonna answer that in an artistic way. You're gonna answer it how you want to answer it.
I still don't remember. I don't remember like.
I can reread it if you want.
Yeah.
Yes, do that.
You want the original version?
Yes, please. Actually, hold on.
A lot of your pieces demonstrate a considerable degree of control and playfulness with the positive and negative space. Do you find this serves to soften the chaotic nature of a piece, or does it extenuate transition?
Hold on.
Yeah, that
Hold on.
contradicts
So-
itself already.
Well,
What, control
asking
and
which one.
playfulness with negative space?
Yes,
Get it out.
because you do that. Shut up. Actually, I can probably find an example. Because remember, we went over this. You were talking about, this is actually a good one. Negative space. When you were talking about with this photo, at one point, she had a lot more lines up here, and she was trying to figure out if it was too much. You use the control of just adding your little accents down here, but leaving your negative space to add more to the chaos of the photo actually being great. Bam,
You're
I
really
answered your
aggressive
question.
right now.
She was almost
Because I wanted to get it
Let me
right.
school you about your art real quick.
Because you were talking about negative space, because no, she uses these
Everyone
words
compliments
every
me
day.
on my negative space.
She uses these words every day, and I'm like, I'm
I
not
don't say
remembering.
that.
Yes,
Al
you do.
says that.
Okay, well, you've said negative space before. I don't
Oh
remember.
yeah,
You
no,
guys
I'm
taught
sure
me
I've
about
said
it.
it before.
I don't use art lingo.
Art lingo.
Yes, I love it. Get out. I'm sorry. I will. But yes, in layman's term, not putting too much shit on the page so that it looks good still, I would assume.
Yeah, but you added some weird shit at the end that just made it way more complicated.
That's
so
the point.
You lost
they're
me.
trying to
You're
get
just being a dick to me, and I don't. No. It's not being high. I'm just not smart enough to have followed that at all. Stop it. I'm intelligent, okay? That was bullshit.
I have no sense of control in my photos. I just draw until I figure out if I want to put enough enough in the space. And
What?
then I'm like,
You're all about control. You're drawing the
Well, with
little,
the line.
literal, precise lines.
I feel like we're better at analyzing each other's shit than we are.
You're
at
high
looking
on
at our
crack.
hands. You're high on crack.
Maybe.
They did give us whatever.
I know. We just came in here
I'm
and
kidding. Don't say
drugs.
It's
Actually,
fine.
you're high on Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Cinderella. That is a good one. That I like that.
I feel like Cinderella.
You
a lot of
answer
the
the
time.
question then.
Which part?
Whatever part you want to. Oh god.
Something about soften the something. You lost me there.
You can read it again if you like.
Just comment on negative and positive spacing, I guess.
Yeah.
Just, it makes things interesting. I mean, if you look at a picture of an apple and it's right in the middle, I'm bored.
Right.
But if it's a big picture with some weird stuff and then just like a fucking apple, like, well, I don't know, it's
At least
somehow
if
more
it's-
interesting, because
Or at least if it's an apple put into like more of a dynamic pose, like if it's not the center, it's like more of a foreground.
apple from
with a
underneath.
little bit more, yeah.
I don't know, I just chose an apple for no fucking reason.
Because you were thinking.
I don't know.
Hungry.
I just was trying to choose something boring, but I went too boring. So
You could
that's
pick up
how
one of your pictures. Like that's why I was looking at that, because examples are in front of us. That is
That
a
jellyfish.
terrible
I
question.
think
the
that's
jelly
a great
isn't
example.
perfectly centered, but it's probably not the best example.
No, it is because of the way that you still can see.
That one's
Beautiful
perfectly
thing
centered.
is, she did a lot of things, a lot of silhouettes like this, where she did the background first and did a solid. And yes, while she says she doesn't do very much line work, she still does line work.
That is the only kind
you
I do,
enjoy
and
it
it's
because
doodling.
yes,
Those
but
are
still,
just wiggly lines.
It's great because you can still see.
You're
the
gonna
actual...
compare the two.
No, I'm not. I'm just. Anywho.
So you know you're better than me then.
I'm not better. Than
Haha! See, gotcha.
you dick.
I didn't bring any good
She's such
examples
a
of.
dick. This is still a good example because of the fact that you have the
Actually,
silhouettes and
this
you can
is my
still
best
see-
example.
Yes.
Now
That's-
that I
that's
think
right.
about it, the heart. The
You
heart
still
is the
see
best
negative
example.
space and still
If
see
it were
the background.
centered, I don't think it would be as good.
Yeah.
No,
And I
actually,
knew that
agree.
starting out. This is a perfect version of this from the canvas. I think it's actually just slightly
A
taller.
little bit.
But the point is that, like, on canvas, it is like this down here in the corner, because I didn't want it to be in the middle. I don't like things to be.
Yeah.
I mean, symmetry has its place, but it's not everywhere. I don't know.
It's easier to get perspective on something if it's not in the focus.
It's
I-
weird
I-
because everything is just like on its own basis. You know,
Yeah.
like, is this art? Okay, well, this art could be better for this reason or that reason. But where was I going with this?
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Dabbing with Washington Artists. Please be sure to give us a like and follow for more content.
And check below for links to the artists and their most current projects.
And remember, with your support, local art thrives.